বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণা অধমেরা প্রতি কি লাগিয়া নীলে হেতা করো এ বেগতি বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণা অধমেরা প্রতি কি লাগিয়া নীলে হেতা করো এ বেগতি আছে কিছু কাজ তাবা এই অনুমানে আছে কিছু কাজ তাবা এই অনুমানে নাহি কেন আনিবে না এই উগ্রস্থানে নাহি কেন আনিবে না এই উগ্রস্থানে বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণা রজস্তমো গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন রজস্তমো গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন वासुदेव कथा रुचि नाही से प्रसन्ना सुदेव कथा रुचि नाही से प्रसन्ना तबे जड़ी तब कृपा ओए है तुकी सकली संभव होए तुमी से कौतुकी कि भावे भूजाले तारा भुजे से रसा एता कृपा करो प्रभु कोरी निज बशा एता कृपा करो प्रभु कोरी निज बशा बड़ो कृपा कइले कृष्णा अधमेरा प्रति किया नीले हेता करो ए बेगति बड़ो कृपा कि लागिया नीले तुम्हारा इच्छाया सब होए माया बशा तुम्हारा इच्छाया सब होए माया बशा तुम्हारा इच्छाया नाश मायारा परश तुम्हारा तब इच्छा होए जाड़ी तादेरा उद्धार तादेरा इच्छा होए जाड़ी तादेरा उद्धार बुझिबे निश्चय तबे कथा से তোমার বুঝিবে निश्चय तबे कथा से तो भागवते कथा से तव अवतार भागवते धीर हैया सुने जड़ी काने बार बार शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सता नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी तदा रजस्तमो भावा कामलोभाधयश्च ये चेतयेदेरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद्भक्ति योगता भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थि छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे रजस्तमो हते तबे पाइबे निस्तार रजस्तमो हृदयेरा भद्र सबे गुछिबे आमार কি করে বুঝাবো কথা বড় সেই চাহি যাব কথা বড়ই চাহি ক্ষুদ্র আমি দিনাহীনা কোনো শক্তি নাহি ক্ষুদ্র আমি দিনাহীনা কোনো শক্তি নাহি অথচ এনেছো প্রভু কথা বলিবারে অথচ এনেছো প্রভু কথা বলি যে তোমারা ইচ্ছা প্রভু করো এইবারে যে अखिल जगत गुरु बचन से अमर अलंकृत करिबार क्षमता तोमार अलंकृत करिबार क्षमता तोमार तब कृपा हले दुख जे बुझिबे शुनिया तमारा शोक दुख जे अनिया जो जड़ी प्रभु हमारे नाचते अनिया जो नाचाओ 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 प्रभु नाचाओ से मते काशी नाचाओ प्रभु नाचाओ से मते काष्टेरा पुतलियता नचाओ से मते काष्टेरा भक्ति नाई वेदनाई नाम खूब डरो भक्ति भक्ति वेदांना में बे सार्थक करो भक्ति वेदा भक्ति वेदांना में बे सार्थक करो बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा अध मेरा प्रति किला गियानिले हेता बोरो ए बेगति बोरो कृपा बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा बोरो कृपा कोइले कृष्णा Hari Bol. I'll read the translation. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudev. I do not know how they will be able to understand it. But I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? O Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation, and if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So, if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I have 10 minutes or 20 minutes more. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, as we can see in this beautiful bhajan, the mood of Srila Prabhupada when he was taking this most difficult journey. But I would like to speak about how he got onto this ship, before he came to. So, as we all know that he left from Mumbai, and I'm from Mumbai, so I would like to speak about his time in Mumbai and the seed of this Hare Krishna movement, how it was planted in Mumbai. Is like when he was a grahastha, he actually came to Mumbai and he was staying very close to the present ISKCON Chapati temple, and that's where he set up his business, and he was assisting Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's disciples who were there in Mumbai to start a temple. And as a grahastha, he was taking care of his business in Mumbai. At the same time, he was supporting the preaching activities in Mumbai. And that is like the first time that he came to Mumbai and he started his business there. And much, much later, as we all know, the first instruction that he received from his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, where he met him in Kolkata in 1921, the first instruction that he received was that if you ever, uh, you know, that you should preach in the English language, you should travel to the West and give the message of Bhagavad Gita in the English language. And that time he was just, very young. And he started his Krishna consciousness and he kept meditating on this instruction. And even the last instruction of what he received from his guru, that was in 1936, just before Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj left, and he met him just few months before in Radhakund, and again the same instruction was given to him that, whenever you have money, whatever, you write books in English, translate all the books in English, and then you travel and give this message in the English language all over the world. So these two instructions, the first and the last instruction given to Srila Prabhupada, you can see that he was meditating all his life, like till he was the age of 65, he kept meditating and he kept preparing. His whole life was just um, focused on these two instructions. And we can see that all his life he started the work of translating all the books. And then the only difficulty he faced, that he had no money to come to the West, to buy a plane ticket. So again he came to Mumbai, and that's when he met, through some contacts he knew Sumati Morarji, and she had her home in Juhu area, where the present ISKCON temple is. And that's where he came to meet Sumati Morarji, and that was his only last hope, of getting a passage somehow, because she owned the Scindia steamship company. And he was hoping that somehow she can arrange for a ticket, either uh, if she could arrange for him some way to come to the West, because in his heart he had decided and he chose, you know I think he was inspired, by Krishna, to choose New York, to come to America, and especially to come to New York. So, but Sumati Morarji, he kept waiting outside her office, and he was old that time. He was just sitting on the steps, and she thought that by making him wait for hours, he will, like, lose his resolve to go. He kept waiting for days, and and it was not that she was, having any. Actually, she was concerned for him. She didn't want him to go because he was so old, and she knew that the cold, harsh weather of New York would really. And she was convinced that he will never return back if he goes, by ship, such a difficult journey. So she wanted to, dissuade him from going. So, but the determination of Srila Prabhupada was such that he sat outside the office for days and for hours. He was not ready to budge from there till she, and she kept telling him every time he would go and ask for a ticket, she would say, sorry, it's very difficult for you. I cannot give you this. You will not be able to come back. And but he kept, and finally she relented, and she gave him a passage in a steamship which was, traveling. And the story that it's such an arduous journey. There was seasickness, there were storms, and then even 2 heart attacks. I mean, such challenges he faced, and he finally reached, so. And then he came to Butler, Pennsylvania, and he stayed at a family who was somehow connected to him. The father, recommended that my son is staying in Butler, Pennsylvania, so you can go to his home. And he was married to an American girl, and her name was Sally Agarwal. And it's just like, I think few years back, 2 years back, she passed away, Sally Agarwal. And she was a very, very loving person, and she welcomed him, and she was taking such good care of Prabhupada. And she was also trying to dissuade him, from going to New York, because he was quite comfortable there. He stayed for almost 1 month or something, and she didn't want him to leave. She told, you are old, you'll not be able to manage in New York alone. And but he was very determined. He said, I know I have to go to New York. And so she gave him a bag of coins. At that time, you can put the coins in the telephone so that he could keep in touch with them and tell them that she's safe. And just recently, 2 years back, she passed away. And it seems just before she passed away, when she was conscious, she told her daughter that, and it's almost 50 years before, it's like something very, she remembered Srila Prabhupada just before she passed away. And she told her daughter that somehow please contact the Hare Krishnas. in Chicago. And her daughter, I think she used to play with Srila Prabhupada when she was small, just a small baby. And she didn't remember anything, obviously, but her mom remembered just before. She was in her 90s, late 90s. And they searched out the Hare Krishnas, and she said, I want them to be there for my memorial singing Hare Krishna. So isn't this amazing? Like, that Srila Prabhupada, what an impact he had on this, young American lady who was married to an Indian and who stayed just few weeks there with her. But, you can completely understand that Srila Prabhupada just won her heart. And I feel that this is his mercy that at the time of her death, she remembered Srila Prabhupada, and that proves to all of us that how merciful Srila Prabhupada is, and why should we fear, because we are in the hands of Srila Prabhupada. We have nothing to fear because, Prabhupada has shown that he'll be there to help us, he'll be there to uh, take us when the time comes, and he has really taken our responsibility. And I feel so grateful that, that we, each one of us, we are here only because of the sacrifices that he took, the difficult journey, at such an elderly age to come to New York. This, for me, this is a pilgrimage site, like, because he is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Just like Ganga, there is that beautiful bhajan, Gangara Parasha Hoile, Paschate Pavan. Like by touching the lotus, by the holy waters, you will get purified. But if you are in the association of a pure devotee, you will be purified in an instant. So we are in this holy place, in this beautiful uh, pilgrimage site, and his dust is here all around. I feel whenever we walk through these streets also, we can feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada, how he, struggled all alone. When he first came here, he said, for a year, I was walking these streets like a homeless person. Can you imagine? That 1 year in that bitter cold, he was all alone, just walking these streets, right here in this area in the Bowery. But the impact that he has done on the people here, I can just share my personal experience that I think that was just the first year or the second year that I had come to New York, and I was traveling by subway one day, and I was just chanting on my beats, and I was standing near the door just to get off. And at the next station, an old man just got in. And as soon as he saw me, he said loudly, Hare Krishna. And I was like surprised. He looked like a typical American old man with a walking stick. And I was thinking, how does he know? Maybe he's a devotee. So I said, Hare Krishna, are you a devotee? And he said, are you from the temple in, in New York? I said, yes, we have a temple. He said, I used to go to the temple on 5th Avenue. When there was a tall building, and he was like a driver or something. And on his way to work, he would stop at the temple in the 1970s, early 70s, and he would go up on the terrace, and he said, I used to meet Srila Prabhupada every day. I said, really? You met Srila Prabhupada? I said, yes, I used to go, and after the class, he would every day give, some prasad to everyone in the hand. And you know what? One day when he gave prasad, his finger touched my little finger. And he's still remembering that. He said, I felt so much energy pass through me. I felt as if I'm seeing Jesus Christ. He's a saint. I could feel that he's such a great saint. And I wear this ring on this little finger. He wears this Om or something, saying, because I want to keep this memory. In fact, I'm I'm the same age as what he was at that time in his 70s now, but I will never forget that time of my life. He's not a devotee. He's just a regular American. He travels by subway even today, but he still remembers that interaction that he had with Srila Prabhupada. And I felt so overwhelmed when I heard him. I said that really, I realized at that time that, what an impact Prabhupada has created in this world, in this New York City. We should not take it lightly. We should not take it for granted, what we have received. And those who met him and those who saw him, the impact that they had in their life, that should increase our faith that how Prabhupada will, and I have the confidence that this man, though he's not a devotee, he's not associated with, but the love that he has for Srila Prabhupada is enough for taking him back to Godhead. So Prabhupada is our only hope for deliverance in this life. And we should take this opportunity that we have in this life and how we can contribute to help in Srila Prabhupada's mission. He came here with a mission. In this very place, he established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He registered it when there were only 2 or 3 members. He had such faith in the whole movement. He could see the potential, and he worked so hard to achieve that. And 50 years now have passed, and we are the ones who have received this legacy, and we have to just take it forward from here and see how we can contribute in whatever little way, to give this mercy that Srila Prabhupada has brought all the way from the other side of the world to distribute to everyone freely. So we just have to do our part and be a part of this very, very important mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there's anybody... any points which you would like to share, or something which we still have 3 minutes.
So, you mentioned how this person remembered Srila Prabhupada. There is a purport in 10th canto which says that those who recognize the presence of the Lord or the Lord's associates among them, they are supremely blessed. Most people don't recognize, is what Prabhupada's disciples have written in the purport. It's a 10th canto purport, and most people don't recognize, but those few who do, they are supremely blessed. And when you narrated that story, I was just thinking of that how blessed this person will be, that he recognized
the greatness
of Prabhupada.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, there were so many thousands and millions of people in New York City. There still are, but he is one of those very few who recognized his greatness, and therefore he is supremely blessed.
Even after 40 years, he still remembers. Yeah, that is.
He must have been some sort of devotee if he was going every day to the temple,
Few days. He went for few days. I mean, like a short time in his life.
Yeah.
When Prabhupada was there, but he got to see Prabhupada and experience, So it doesn't matter, I think. Sometimes we feel, you have to be a devotee, certain way, dress a certain way, wear a tilak. But I think, that's just an external thing. The main thing is the consciousness, how much, I mean, you could see it by the way he spoke that his love for Srila Prabhupada was still. So I think that's something of the heart, the matter of the heart. And that is what is of value.
Um, Thank you very much for sharing, and especially about the mood of Srila Prabhupada coming before, the build up to coming to the West. I'm just wondering, there's a Srila Prabhupada cites, I think, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi,
But
that we have to have this single pointed focus in serving the spiritual master and take up the order of the spiritual master as our life and soul, and we see Srila Prabhupada did that. So, yeah, how can we try to imbibe that same spirit? What is your realization in trying to have that courage? Prabhupada left everything he knew behind and came to such a strange place, such hardship. How can we manifest this in our lives?
I personally, I mean, I can just share my experience that because it first comes, the empowerment comes from the instruction first, it's as we know that when the instruction is given, that's when the empowerment is given by the Guru. Sometimes we feel that it's actually our effort that we are going to do. Even the thought that we say, oh, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi means I have to be focused, I have to be determined. Actually, there is no I in this. When the instruction is given, the empowerment comes with that. So it's actually Guru. It's everything to do with Guru, it's nothing to do with us. He is giving us the empowerment. Because if he wouldn't have given the empowerment, nothing can happen. It's not that we are doing something or we are preparing and we are arranging things. So when Guru gives the instruction, things happen. I mean, this is my realization. It's happening. So I think, and another thing which Prabhupada always said, that I never feel that I'm separate from my Guru or away from my Guru, or I don't feel that I miss, because when the instruction is given and when you're actually doing that, you will feel connected with your Guru more, because that's the instruction coming from the Guru and he is arranging everything for you. So you will be able to see that your Guru is there at every moment, arranging and making things happen. So I think that we have to just meditate on the instruction and more. Sometimes, see, we don't get direct instructions. Sometimes we are not, because our Guru will not directly tell us do this, do that. We are not that. But we should focus on the mission of our Guru. Of course, ultimately it's Srila Prabhupada's mission, but our Guru is following his mission. I mean, our Guru wants to manifest Srila Prabhupada's mission. So we have to just think, what is the mission of my Guru? And what does he want to achieve? And in that, then you have to meditate on how you can contribute in that mission, in whatever way you can, in whatever capacity. We cannot do great things, but we can just give, do our little bit in the mission of your Guru. So we need to pray and meditate that to reveal that. And I think that's what chanting is all about, you know. We are chanting to ask that how we can be engaged in the service of Guru and Krishna. So personally, I feel that when we chant, we have to just pray how we can be engaged sincerely, and then it happens. It'll happen accordingly. I hope that is.
Wonderful answer. Thank you.
Thank you.